$31,000. Not because of a market crash, not because of a bad investment, not because of any decision you made, any mistake you made, or anything that happened to your account at all. $31,000 is what $50,000 in a standard savings account becomes in real purchasing power over 15 years at the average American inflation rate, while the number on your statement stays exactly the same or even grows slightly from interest. The account shows 52,000. You feel safe. You are losing ground every single month. My name is Emily, and 6 years ago, I had $47,000 sitting in a savings account at the bank, where I had been a customer since college. The account earned 0.4% interest annually. Inflation that year was running at approximately 3.2%. I was losing 2.8% of my purchasing power every year and calling it saving. I did not understand what inflation actually does to money. Not abstractly. I knew prices went up, but I had never calculated the specific dollar-by-dollar erosion that occurs when your savings rate trails inflation by even 2 or 3 percentage points over a decade. The night I ran that calculation, I moved $41,000 the following morning. This video is that calculation, explained completely. What inflation actually is at the mechanical level, how it interacts with savings accounts, why the number on your statement is a misleading measure of your financial health, and the 3 specific decisions that protect the purchasing power of money you are not ready to invest, but cannot afford to leave exposed. Let me start with the mechanism, because most people understand inflation as a vague background force, rather than a precise mathematical process. Inflation is the rate at which the purchasing power of a currency unit declines over time. When inflation runs at 3% annually, $100 today buys what $97 bought 1 year ago. Or equivalently, what you buy today for $100 will cost $103 one year from now. This sounds manageable. 3% sounds small. Compounded over time, and the effect becomes structurally significant. At 3% annual inflation, $100 of purchasing power becomes $97 after 1 year, $94.09 after 2 years, $74 after 10 years, and $59.30 after 17 years. The purchasing power of money sitting still is cut nearly in half in 17 years at a 3% inflation rate. Not because anything dramatic happened, because of compounding in reverse. Your money staying the same number while the cost of everything it can buy increases by 3% each year. Now layer the savings account onto this. A standard savings account at a traditional bank in the United States earned an average of 0.46% annually as of 2023, according to the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation National Average Data. A $50,000 balance earning 0.46% annually grows to approximately $57,400 over 15 years. That looks like a gain of $7,400. But inflation at the historical average of approximately 3.3% over the same period reduces the purchasing power of that $57,400 to approximately $35,800 in today's dollars. You started with $50,000 of purchasing power. You end with $35,800 of purchasing power. The account gained $7,400 nominal dollars and lost $14,200 of real value. This is the inflation thief. It does not announce itself. It does not trigger any alarm. Your statement shows growth. Your purchasing power is declining. Both of these things are true simultaneously, and the gap between them is the specific cost of misunderstanding what savings accounts are designed to do. Meet 4 people. All of them are savers. All of them are doing what they believe is responsible with their money. All of them earn between $4,000 and $5,500 per month. Their names are Greg, Vanessa, Derek, and Natalie. Greg is 34 and has $60,000 in a traditional savings account. He has had this account for 11 years, adding to it consistently. He knows inflation exists. He does not know that his $60,000 has lost approximately 19% of its purchasing power since he opened the account. Despite growing in nominal terms, he feels financially secure. His sense of security is based on the number on his statement, not the purchasing power that number represents. Vanessa is 29 and saves aggressively, $400 per month into a savings account. She is proud of her discipline. What she does not know is that her savings account pays 0.35%, while inflation is running at 3.1%. She is saving with genuine sacrifice and losing ground every month she does it. The discipline is real. The vehicle she is putting that discipline into is working against her. Derek is 41 and recently received an inheritance of $35,000. He placed the full amount in a savings account because he was not ready to invest it. He has been deciding what to do with it for 2 years. During those 2 years, inflation at approximately 3.8% has reduced the purchasing power of his $35,000 by approximately $2,700. While the account has gained approximately $250 in interest, he has not made a decision about the money. He has made a decision by not making one. Natalie is 36 and opened a high-yield savings account 18 months ago when interest rates rose. Her account currently earns 4.7% annually. With inflation at 3.1%, Natalie is earning a real return of approximately 1.6%, genuinely preserving and slightly growing purchasing power. The difference between her position and Greg's is not income, not discipline, not intelligence. It is one account change she made after reading one article 18 months ago. Now, I want to explain the 3 decisions that determine whether your savings preserve their value or silently lose it. Decision 1. Understand what a savings account is actually for and stop using it for things it is not designed to do. A savings account serves one purpose well: holding money that you will need within 0 to 12 months, accessible without penalty, earning enough to partially offset inflation. Emergency fund, near-term large purchase, bridge between paychecks during an irregular income period. A savings account serves one purpose poorly: holding money for longer than 12 months that you are not planning to spend in the near term. Every dollar that sits in a standard savings account for more than a year without a specific near-term purpose is a dollar that could be in a vehicle that actually matches the inflation rate or exceeds it. The psychological trap is that savings accounts feel safe precisely because the number never goes down. A brokerage account shows gains and losses. A savings account shows a slow, reliable upward trend. The emotional experience of watching a brokerage balance fluctuate is genuinely uncomfortable in ways that a savings account is not. This comfort is real, and it is also misleading because the purchasing power losses in a savings account are invisible, while the nominal gains are visible. The first decision is to separate your money by function, not by feeling. Money you will need in the next 12 months belongs in the highest yield savings account available. Money you do not need for more than 1 year belongs in a vehicle with better inflation protection. Decision 2. Find the actual current yield on the highest available savings account and move your idle money there within 30 days. This decision requires approximately 45 minutes of research and 20 minutes of account setup. It is not complicated. The results are significant. During periods of elevated federal funds rates, like 2023 and 2024, high-yield savings accounts at online banks and credit unions offered rates between 4 and 5% annually, while traditional bank savings accounts continued offering rates near 0.5%. The gap between these two categories of account was not 0.1%. It was 4 full percentage points on the same FDIC insured account with the same liquidity. On a $40,000 balance, the difference between 0.5% and 4.7% is approximately $1,608 per year in interest. Every year, the gap persists. Finding the current best rate takes 10 minutes at a comparison site. Opening a high-yield savings account takes 20 minutes online. Moving the funds takes 5 to 7 business days. The total investment of time for this decision: approximately 45 minutes. Once. The return: potentially thousands of dollars annually in additional interest. This is not an investment. The money remains FDIC insured and fully liquid. It is simply using the correct tool for the job. Decision 3. Establish a 12-month rule for money sitting in savings. This is the behavioral decision that compounds the first two. The 12-month rule is any money in a savings account that has sat untouched for more than 12 months without a specific near-term purpose is reviewed and intentionally recategorized. It either gets assigned a specific near-term purpose, emergency fund, home purchase fund, car replacement fund, and stays in the high-yield savings account, or it gets moved into a vehicle designed for longer horizon money where inflation protection is structurally built in. This review does not require investment expertise or high risk tolerance. It requires one question asked annually: does this money have a specific purpose within the next 12 months? If yes, keep it in the high yield savings account. If no, the money has been misassigned, and every month it stays misassigned is a month of real purchasing power, eroding silently. Derek's inherited $35,000 had no specific 12-month purpose. He knew that. He was waiting to decide. The 12-month rule would have forced the question 14 months earlier and prevented approximately $1,800 of avoidable purchasing power loss. The three decisions together form a complete framework. Know what savings accounts are for and stop using them for longer horizon money. Move idle money to the highest available yield within 30 days. Review any money sitting in savings for more than 12 months and recategorize intentionally. None of these decisions require investment knowledge. None require tolerance for market risk. None require a financial advisor or a brokerage account or any vehicle that can go down in value. They require understanding what inflation actually does to money, running the calculation once, and treating your savings account as a tool with a specific and limited purpose, rather than a default destination for money you have not figured out what to do with yet. Let me give you the calculation I ran 6 years ago, the one that made me move $41,000 the following morning. I had $47,000 earning 0.4% annually. Inflation was running at 3.2%. My real return was negative 2.8%. Over 10 years at negative 2.8% real return, my $47,000 would retain approximately $35,800 of purchasing power, a real loss of $11,200, while the account showed a nominal gain of approximately $1,900 from interest. I was gaining $1,900 in the number on my screen and losing $11,200 in what that number could actually buy. I moved the emergency fund, 6 months of expenses, approximately $14,000, to a high-yield savings account that was then offering 2.1%, meaningfully reducing but not eliminating the inflation gap. Everything above the emergency fund went into index funds. That decision, measured over the subsequent 6 years, has meant the difference between $35,800 in real purchasing power and something significantly larger. Not because I took significant risk, but because I stopped treating a savings account as the default destination for money that had no near-term purpose. The inflation thief is not dramatic. It does not crash the market or trigger a news alert. It takes 2.8% per year, consistently, from every dollar that sits in the wrong place. And it has been doing so for every year you have had money in a standard savings account without asking whether the vehicle matches the purpose. Calculate your real return right now, your savings account rate minus the current inflation rate. If the result is negative, you know exactly what has been happening and exactly what to do about it. The number on your statement is not your financial position. Your real purchasing power is your financial position. And knowing the difference between those two numbers is the decision that changes everything. Hit the like button right now if this video showed you a calculation about your savings that you have never run before. It takes 1 second, and it puts this information in front of someone who is watching their balance grow and not realizing what is happening to it. Next, watch my video on where I put the money I moved out of savings, the exact index fund structure, the specific account types, and the decision framework I use to determine when money moves from savings to investments. Tell me in the comments, what is your savings account currently paying, and what is inflation running at right now where you are? The gap between those two numbers is your real return. And I want to know how many people watching this are working with a negative number without realizing it.